buying businesses, buying perceived business. Right now, there's an epidemic in China, in Japan, where there are a lot of businesses closing, not because they're not doing well, because there's no one there to buy them. You have grandma and grandpa who built this business, this pharmacy, this restaurant, this store, and the restaurant has been in business for 30 years, serving. Grandpa, grandma can no longer do it. Their kids are leaving Japan and coming to the United States. And now grandma and grandpa, after 30 years, have to close their doors because none of their kids want the existing business. And this is a crisis in Japan. There's a lot of investment capital moving overseas to buy up some of these businesses, these existing businesses. I went to my barber. Again, I'm using myself as an example. I did what I'm trying to convey here. I went to my barber. For years, he has told me, I want to open a second shop. His biggest competition in the area is a guy who owns 8 barbershops, and he wants to get, and he's still trying to get to number 2 barbershop. So I said, I have some capital. You have the expertise because he's been cutting hair for 30 years. Let's see what we can come up with here. And let me buy into an existing business that has a proven track record, has the clientele, has the systems, has the process, has the products. And I just infuse some cash into you. And by the way, I also bring an aspect of myself because I have 21,000 followers on one of my Facebook accounts. So there's a level. So in me buying in, I also bring marketing expertise. In order to get up to 13 ATMs, I had to promote those. I had to market those. I had to sell those. So I am also not just infusing cash, but there's an opportunity for me to infuse myself into this business if I so did. Strategic partnership. Hey, let's see what we can come up with here. And so that's what I want to stress to people. Buying businesses, buying a franchise, looking at a franchise, looking at several franchises and seeing if there's something there. I did an episode on my podcast where I interviewed a gentleman who is a broker of franchises, but he focuses on non-food franchises less than $50,000. So there are franchises that you, me, and us can buy into and invest in that are making 6 figures already out the gate. And it costs you less than $50,000. And I'm not talking about Chick-fil-A. So that's why I want to leave people with.
And I'm glad you made that clarification. It doesn't have to be a franchise, but buying into an existing business is good. I remember because I'm still in the insurance space, but I used to first start and I used to be primarily in property and casualty. And one of the benefits of being in the space is I got to see what was real and what was fake. Like when I would be talking to individuals and business owners, I could see the ones who actually had assets and the ones who didn't. And one thing that I discovered, I had a cousin who was in chiropractic school at the time. He's since become a chiropractor. But what was happening was within a relatively short time, I had 2 chiropractors on the phone. And when I tell you that their assets was loaded to the gills with all these different properties, all these different nice cars, right? And I'm like, all right, this is somebody, they're not faking the funk. I can see that it's real. And I asked them, these are 2 separate chiropractors, did not know each other as far as I know. And they both said the same thing. I said, well, what's the one advice that you can convey to me to pass on to my cousin that's about to become a chiropractor to where he can get to where you are? And their one advice, both of them, 2 different people, was buy an existing chiropractor business.
Absolutely. There's a huge movement, and I'm really proud of it, of more and more entrepreneurs getting out of that phase of I'm gonna start it from scratch. I'm gonna do it twice as good. And you can still put your stank on something by buying an existing business and redoing it. Again, I went to my barber. I just looked in my local community. I didn't do anything extraordinary or special. I just took the owner who I already knew and had a relationship with, and I invited him and his wife out to dinner, and I paid for it. And I just talked to him and his wife about what would that look like for a second shop in this infusion of cash. I have XYZ dollars. What could we come up with? And so It's nothing magical. It's nothing special. It's nothing hard. It's a conversation, but you leverage a lot of expertise. So yeah, for you, I get approached by the regional State Farm agents in my area because they're like, Marcus, why don't you open a State Farm agency? Blah blah blah. I did State Farm. I had my property and casualty license. I didn't have my series license, but I had property, casualty, and life annuities license. And so that was my next thing. I was going to go for the series 7 and 6 and all of that. But it life turned out the way it did. But even in that aspect, I would say to any life insurance agent, because one of the things State Farm agents do is that's what they constantly do. State Farm, because of the demographic, State Farm agents, depending on where they're located in my area, there's a very poor community of people that can't afford their prices. So what a lot of State Farm agents do is they buy existing books of business. So for someone like you or any one of your followers or team members who are watching this, go to Primerica,